This is one of the Führer's teachers, Dietrich Eckart. He had close ties with the Thule Occult Society and met Hitler as early as 1919. Eckart believed in the hollow earth theory and thought that the mysterious land of Thule was not lost but submerged underwater. Not due to a catastrophe, but by the will of its inhabitants, who decided to retreat from the hustle and bustle of this mortal world for a time. He believed that the magical center of the Aryan race was preserved deep underground. There are initiates capable of penetrating their consciousness through the rock layers and perceiving the sacred energy within. In Eckart's opinion, a talented medium who becomes a national leader can transmit this energy to all Nordic people. This, he believed, would make the warriors of Nazi Germany invincible. Hitler's friend, the Green Lama, had a similar idea. Hitler had a companion known as the Green Lama, who predicted many events during World War II. It was said that he held the keys to Agartha, meaning he had access to the realm beneath the earth. There is a theory that different mysterious organizations have been at odds in Europe since ancient times. It is known that Hitler relied on the Order of 72. Initially, its members were priests of ancient Egyptian Set, the god of the desert, wrath, war, and death. Researchers claim that this occult organization is also called the Order of the Green Dragon. The order's main focus is on antisemitism, Russophobia, and extreme nationalism. Its members aim to distort moral and ethical concepts, encourage vices, and sow seeds of religious and interethnic hatred. The order opposes another force that upholds the values outlined in the Holy Scriptures. It is believed that both opposing sides have followers in all spheres of life. Even among Europe's royal dynasties, such a division existed. According to historians, one of the longest-running secret struggles was between the Frankish dynasties of the Merovingians and the Carolingians. Some experts argue that the execution of monarchs during the French Revolution was the result of a conspiracy by the Bavarian Illuminati, closely associated with the Order of the Green Dragon. Many researchers blame dark forces for the death of the Russian royal family. An English inscription was found on a Saint Seraphim of Sarov icon belonging to Queen Alexandra Feodorovna shortly before her death. In translation, it reads, "The Green Dragon. You were absolutely right." In these footage, you can see the coup in Chile that took place in 1973. Researchers believe that the plot was orchestrated by the Order of the Green Dragon. After World War II, tens of thousands of Nazi war criminals resided in Chile. They established entire cities. German settlers supported General Pinochet, who openly admired Adolf Hitler as his idol. Pinochet turned Chile into a concentration camp and, according to witness accounts, ordered the execution of over 250 people daily during the initial period. The 2014 coup in Ukraine, according to experts, is also linked to the Order of the Green Dragon. The color green appears multiple times in the occult history of Nazi Germany, from Hitler's meetings with the Green Lama to the creation of the mysterious Polar Society, closely associated with the Order of the Green Dragon. This organization, based on documentary evidence, identified the Third Reich with Arctagaea, or Northern Hyperborea. According to one theory, the Polar Society prepared a refuge for the Führer in the ice at the Earth's poles in case his empire fell. Another equally shocking theory suggests that the expeditions to the Arctic and Antarctica were a battle for the ice, including on the astral level. The Earth's poles were seen by German occultists as portals to the underground realm of Aria, an entrance to parallel worlds inhabited by invisible civilizations. Perhaps the Germans were not only seeking the Holy Grail or certain knowledge, but also attempting to make contact with the beings surrounded by numerous legends, fairy tales, stories, and even encounters with the guardians of knowledge who reside in these still underground complexes. Take a look at this satellite map. Researchers claim to have discovered this, incidentally, not the first disc-shaped object in Antarctica. Its diameter is approximately 20 meters. Researchers often spot a massive crater at the South Pole in satellite images. Recently, a sensation shocked the public, challenging our conventional understanding of how our planet is structured. Using the latest deep seismograph, researchers listened to the Earth and proposed a shocking hypothesis. The inside of our planet may be hollow. Modern science asserts that the Earth consists of a crust or lithospheric plates on which we live. Inside, there is a mantle, a kind of molten silicate material. At the core is the center. However, after listening to the planet with ultra-precise instruments, scientists concluded that in some places the Earth resonates like an empty vessel, while in others it sounds like a vessel partially filled with liquid. Let's assume the Earth is a sphere. We don't live inside it like Hitler's followers. Instead, we live on the outside of this sphere. But the sphere is hollow inside. What do you think of that? An extraordinary phenomenon was recorded on Saturn's moon Enceladus, which has a diameter of about 500 kilometers. Water is ejected from its poles. A space probe captured and transmitted these images to Earth. They show powerful jets of water under high pressure being ejected from Enceladus's poles onto the surface. When specialists analyzed the ultraviolet spectrum of the jets, they concluded that the icy Saturnian moon is partially filled with an ocean. According to researchers, this could mean that the hollow Earth hypothesis is not mere fiction. The voids within our planet may be partially filled with water and partially inhabited by an underground civilization. There is even a theory that the Earth's surface is the upper protective shell of the underground world, and the subglacial lakes in Antarctica are a kind of marker indicating the entrance into the Earth. Look at this model built by theorist Matt Anderson to demonstrate the free fall of a person into a hole at one of the poles. He concluded that upon reaching the opposite pole, a person would stop and fly back. This flight would occur infinitely. According to him, this is possible if there is a vacuum inside. But we don't yet know for certain what is inside the Earth's sphere. Over the past 15 years or so, geophysical research in Antarctica has led the Americans, in particular, American intelligence agencies, to the conclusion that the remains of ancient civilizations are indeed located beneath the Antarctic ice sheet. This conclusion was reached thanks to the Americans, a stationary satellite positioned over Antarctica. It observes the frequent appearance of UFOs here. Could there be extraterrestrial bases underground? It is known that German scientists first spotted an unidentified flying object over Antarctica long before Hitler's rise to power. Their expeditions to this region began in the second half of the 19th century. Many years later, the Nazis developed an interest in Queen Maud Land, located on the Atlantic coast of Antarctica. This area is abundant with freshwater lakes. In one of the reports to Hitler, it was stated that a massive network of caves was discovered, containing life-giving ozone within, which had never been encountered before. The Nazi researchers also reported to the Führer that, based on all indications, the subglacial structures appeared to be of extraterrestrial origin. Historians claim that Hitler personally ordered the construction of a base for submarines at the South Pole. From the late 1930s onwards, alongside their Antarctic explorations, the Germans established a testing range on one of the islands in the Baltic Sea, in the other hemisphere. Allied intelligence reported that the Germans planned to launch their V-2 rockets from this location. Additionally, they constructed these enormous concrete saucers, whose purpose remains unclear. What was created in Sopka? 30 years after the war, aerial photography revealed the presence of a massive quartz vein, a giant piezoelectric element, which scientists believe could have been a power source for the German disc-shaped aircraft. The theoretical physicist Walter Gerlach, a renowned scientist at the time, was present during the testing. According to researchers, before the trial, the mediums of the Ahnenerbe inscribed runes on the flying saucer and performed magical incantations on the water. Why were these magical rituals necessary? Was it not enough to have an incredible source of energy, but also ancient manuscripts sent by Tibetan lamas to Hitler? Could it be that the mystical flying machines witnessed today, either in the sky or emerging from the water, are linked to the secret developments of the Ahnenerbe? Recently, the Americans published some documents from that era. These included reports from the Chief of the Air Force's Materiel Division, Lieutenant General Nathan Twining, to the Director of the CIA. He stated that the UFO, which was crescent-shaped, resembled the German swept-wing aircraft that Allied pilots had observed in the skies during the final days of World War II. In that secret report, Nathan Twining suggested that the Germans had achieved something in their developments that was currently unknown to anyone else. All cosmological handbooks describe the shocking incident that occurred in 1961 with the Heil couple. According to documentary evidence, as they were driving home one night, they encountered a UFO. Gray humanoids emerged from the saucer, giving orders in German along with officers in uniforms from the Second World War. How did soldiers of the Third Reich appear on U.S. soil in 1961? Could it be from parallel worlds? How can we explain the archaeologists' accounts of the sudden appearances and equally mysterious disappearances of Third Reich aircraft in the sky today? Take a look at this unusual natural scene called Mirage. Scientists refer to this atmospheric optical phenomenon as the refraction of light beams at the boundary between air layers with different temperatures or densities. In other words, a mirage is when you see the reflection of a distant object. If the Messerschmitt spotted by the archaeologists is a mirage, it means that somewhere at that very moment, it is actually flying. But who is launching such aircraft nowadays? Could the Messerschmitt have come from parallel worlds? According to researchers, all this may seem like fantasy, just as it seemed fantastical 10 years ago that by 2020, nationalist ideas would once again become popular in Europe and the United States. Nazi rallies and parades are being organized, Nazi literature is being published, and in Ukraine, nationalists have been storming the Verkhovna Rada for quite some time. Some citizens openly regret that Hitler did not conquer the Soviet Union. Is this not fantasy? Nevertheless, whether we like it or not, the idea of dark and light forces is present in the world, and we cannot escape it. In our days, we witness it firsthand in politics, economics, and everywhere else. Some researchers argue that the politics of the Third Reich were based on principles that clearly deviated from the accepted norms. Adolf Hitler considered himself a magician and was surrounded by occult advisors. Heinrich Himmler established his own Black Order based on the SS. According to one version, at the end of the war, Hitler left Berlin on a flying saucer developed by the Institute of the German Research Community. His path led him to a secret base in Antarctica. Despite the fall of the Third Reich, many of its secrets remain unsolved. And the battle initiated by Hitler is reigniting today, disguised, among other things, as the concept of tolerance. Researchers claim that society has nothing to counter the Nazi ideology because it still does not understand its human-hating nature. And the idea that it could be somehow connected to black magic is not taken seriously at all. Perhaps the cure for the brown plague is hidden in the mysterious parallel worlds, where the continuous struggle between good and evil rages on.